Welcome to SVGTV News for Wednesday, May 29, 2019. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, Dr. Godwin Friday, says there is no rift in the party following public statements made by two senior members of the party against each other. At the center of the melee is former leader of the NDP, Anim Eustace, and vice president of the party, Sinclair Leacock. On the radio last week, Leacock announced that Eustace, who is the current representative for the East Kingston constituency, will not seek re-election, and that the party has already identified 3 exciting prospects to take over from Eustace. Leacock, who also spoke on Eustace's health condition in relation to operations on his knees, was quoted as saying, "You can't run if you can't walk." Offended by the statements made on the radio yesterday, Eustace said Leacock was caught out of place to speak on his future in politics. In an interview with SVGTV News on the matter today via the telephone, the NDP leader said it was an unfortunate incident that was blown out of proportion by some media outlets. However, Dr. Friday said both men have since apologized to each other privately and publicly, and that this was the best thing to do.
The statement that was made and taken into the public discussion were statements concerning Mr. Eustace's mobility and his status as a candidate. And Mr. Leacock has acknowledged that he erred in making the comments and that it was not his intention to disparage Mr. Eustace in any way. And he has apologized publicly. And that is a big thing to do. And Mr. Eustace has acknowledged the apology, has accepted it, and has committed himself to working together with the party, with all the members in the party, to focus on our ultimate goal of removing the ULP from office. So as far as we are concerned as a party, this matter is concluded.
Dr. Friday said Eustace, as a former leader of the NDP, is highly respected and that position does not change. Asked about the possibility that Eustace will not be contesting the upcoming general elections for the East Kingston seat, Dr. Friday said that is for Eustace to decide.
But that is not a matter to be discussed. As Leacock has said, he's acknowledged that it was not proper for him to address that on the radio station. That this is a matter that Mr. Eustace and myself as a leader of the party, if there's such an announcement that we'll make, he has said that publicly in the radio, and that I entirely agree with that. Mr. Eustace entirely accepts that. As far as we're concerned from the Democratic Party, the matter is concluded. And we urge our supporters to continue to do as both Mr. Eustace and Mr. Leacock have done, to commit themselves to the task of winning the next general election and not to be distracted by those who will try to use this matter to further divide us as a party and as a nation.
On the apology issued by Leacock on the radio today, he said that he retracts and regrets making the statements against Eustace, whom he respects greatly.
Would be to offer an apology, a retraction of sorts, and in the same breath express a regret that there have been this episode between President Eustace and myself, in which he has had to use very harsh and language to, he would put it, defend his own integrity and character. I apologize to Mr. Eustace for my statement, and I move on. Sometimes one has to small up oneself so that the bigger picture may flourish.
Leacock said he was wrong, as it was not his place to announce Eustace's exit from active politics.
So let me state emphatically, Mr. Eustace is the long-serving representative of East Kingston, and it is Mr. Eustace's right to so indicate when he wants to remove himself from the body politics of East Kingston and of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I accept fully that an announcement of his departure will be best effected by him so stating, and I regret that I had to preempt his prerogative as he defines it, and will, like anyone else, listen for that announcement if in fact there will be ever such an announcement.
Leacock noted that he was consulted on the matter by the NDP leader and that he remains committed to serving the party, his constituency of Central Kingston, the people of SVG under Dr. Friday's leadership. After hearing Leacock's apology, Eustace called into the radio program to publicly accept the apology.
I have heard Mr. Leacock on his presentation, and he did indicate that he apologized for the incident. In the circumstances, I accept that apology. I do not wish us to continue in this vein. Our problem is reconciled. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, the NDP in a news release today expressed deep sadness with the passing of former Jamaica Prime Minister Edward Seaga. Seaga passed away yesterday on his 89th birthday in a Miami hospital. President of the NDP, Dr. Godwin Friday, stated in the release that he was happy to meet Mr. Seaga a couple of years ago when the Jamaica Labour Party held its annual conference in Kingston. The NDP leader said Seaga's contribution to the development of Jamaica and the region will echo for years to come, and express condolences to his loved ones, the Jamaica Labour Party and the people of Jamaica. In other news, citizens of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union can expect a cleaner, safer and stronger EC dollar with the introduction of the EC polymer notes. The new notes have a wide variety of security features as well as raised bumps to allow persons who are visually impaired to use them to conduct a business. The notes are expected to be in circulation in June of this year, beginning with the $50 note. Other notes are expected to be in circulation around September this year. Speaking at the launching ceremony broadcast in member state via teleconference from Grenada, a governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Timothy Antoine, said the bank has learned from the experiences of other countries who have already made the move to the polymer notes.
Notes are more cost-effective than paper. Although polymer notes are more expensive to produce upfront, their extended lifespan means that the notes are replaced less often. Consequently, there will be a reduction in transportation and handling costs, thus reducing the overall cost of cash for the ECCB, commercial banks, and credit unions. As part of our due diligence, the ECCB consulted with colleagues from the Bank of England, Bank of Scotland, and the Bank of Canada about their experiences with changing from paper to polymer. Compared to paper notes, polymer notes are cleaner, resistant to dirt and moisture, more secure. They have advanced security features which make them harder to counterfeit. More durable. They last at least 3 times longer than paper. And they are more environmentally friendly. Consequently,
Antoine further noted that the paper notes currently in circulation in the currency union can still be used for monetary transactions until they are taken out of circulation.
Fellow citizens and residents, the circulation of the EC notes will be phased. As unfit paper notes are returned to the central bank and our current inventory of paper notes is completed, they will be replaced by polymer notes. Therefore, as a practical matter, the public ought to expect that both our paper and polymer notes will be in circulation at the same time. And I want to assure you that they are both in legal tender. So you don't need to rush to the bank and bring your paper to get polymer. They will, and let's be clear, there is no point at this stage in destroying absolutely good paper notes. That would be wasteful and irresponsible. So we use them until their natural life ends and replace them. So for a period of time, we will have both. and they are both legal tender, so just be assured of that. In respect of the rollout, our current projection is the 100, 20, and $10 notes will be issued around September. And I say around because depending on demand, it could be a little earlier, it could be a little later. And the $5 notes around September next year.
While thanking all those who have made the process possible, the ECCB governor said today's launch signifies what small islands can do when they work together as one.
A lot of things go on the central bank, and we have to work hard and see some time more. I also wish to thank the Monetary Council General and our board, both of which have been very supportive of this project from the very outset. Fellow citizens and residents of the ECCB, your new notes are considerably better. Hence the tagline for public education campaign: cleaner, safer, stronger. Moreover, they look good. They're aesthetically pleasing. Above all, they are a symbol of regional accomplishment. When we touch them, use them every day, you must never forget them. They are a symbol of regional accomplishment. What we as small states can do together for ourselves when we come together. Always maintain we are well able to craft the regions that work for us and for ourselves. Well able when we come together. And our boats and our central bank. Yes. Let us enjoy it. I thank you.
Meanwhile, at today's launching ceremony of the polymer notes, a special presentation of an encapsulated polymer $50 note was presented to Linda Venner, the wife of the late former governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Sir Dwight Venner. The new polymer $50 notes displays a portrait of Sir Venner, chairman of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, and Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said this is one way to honor the service provided by Sir Venner to the institution and the region.
In honor of his legacy and service to the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, Sir Dwight must be recognized for the tremendous contribution he has made, giving human service to the ECCB and to the region as a whole. The Council is therefore pleased to unveil this $50 note in his honor and in his memory. Moreover, we are pleased that his widow, Lady Venner, made it possible to be here with us in this nice country at this time. Spent a lot of this. Lady Venner, this represents a token of appreciation for your late husband's dedicated service of 26 years at the helm of this regional institution.
The second night market in capital Kingston will be held this Friday, May 31st, and a totally different program can be expected. Peter Edward, Export Development Officer at Invest SVG, which is spearheading the night markets, expressed satisfaction with the new features, which he said will include a fish fest.
Having fish festival aspect of night market, we'll have a karaoke competition, we'll have steel band, we'll have dance to fitness or dance for fitness, we have what else? Dollar Bear. We have
from St. Vincent Brewery.
We have some bigger companies taking part this time. We have Carez, Hazel Inc. I think the auto department will be having some sales. We have New Century Trading, which is our platinum sponsor. Yeah, Chinese store will be taking part. There will be a lot of items on sale, and then we have our normal
Digicel and Flow.
And Flow will be there. So it will be even better this time around. We have other companies that are now calling in and say that they want to take part in. We also gonna have prizes at our karaoke competition.
In addition, 6 mass bands will be on hand to showcase their 2019 production. At last month's night market, the activities were held on the ground floor of the central market. However, this time around, the first floor will be utilized. Investment services facilitated Invest SVG Angela Young said patrons will also be entertained on this floor.
What we do the karaoke, the dollar bear, and up there we'll do some of the sales up there as well. So it will be both levels this time. The steel pan will be up there as well.
And then we are using for the fish festival the front
of the market
area
in front of the
courthouse.
Yes.
So we're gonna be decking there real nice so people can have a good family vibes.
The program is expected to start promptly at 7 p.m. on Friday. Meanwhile, the team at Invest SVG say they are pleased with the response they've received about the night markets, particularly from the vendors who were reluctant to participate in the first night market last month, but now more have come on board.
After the first night market, quite a few of them met me and approached me when we went through the market and said, well, you know, we heard about it and we didn't know that was how it was going to be, so we're definitely going to stay on. So I think it will grow on them and they will get accustomed to say, well, pace themselves to say, I'm going to stay on. Even if it's not until 11, they will stay until probably 9, 10 o'clock and, you know, get some sales, because the last time the vendors there got made twice the amount of money they made all day.
They actually came to tell us thank you. I think we are achieving our goal, like bringing some life to the market, trying to get the vendors off the street, getting some economic activity for people at the market and plus the other, business places. I think it is a work in progress.
We heard that a team of 25 eye specialists are currently in the state conducting eye clinics. The clinics, which got started last Sunday at the Annersville Sporting Complex, is organized by the Lions Club of Kingstown SVG. Project chairperson with the Lions Club, Sylvia De Freitas, said over 800 persons are expected to benefit from the eye clinics this year.
181 for today, and if there are any who are not seen today, we're trying to put them in at the end of tomorrow's session, because as I mentioned earlier, we usually do our registration in the month of April and they come at the end of May. We did 100 registrants, so all the extras, like the 181 today, 81 are extras, and so far 159 are through.
Eye surgeries have already started at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital with a target of 80 procedures set by the doctors for this year. Mission Director Dave McCabe said thus far the process has been quite simple, as many of the persons they have seen just needed glasses.
So patients come in, they get a general health exam, and then they get a complete eye exam with dispensing of glasses at the end. So we have a large inventory of glasses that we can choose from, and we can get them both reading and distance glasses. So we're hoping that, we can diagnose a lot of disease that we can help people with, from glaucoma to diabetic retinopathy and we bring lots of medications to help people manage those diseases. And then any surgical patients we'll put on a list to refer either to the hospital for the local doctors or for our team when we come back next year. So they do primarily cataract surgery, but they'll do pterygiums and they'll do corneal transplants and a number of other eye surgeries that patients might need on the island.
Blood pressure and diabetes are reportedly the common causes of eye problems. An eye technician from New Hampshire, David Irving, said they are also holding counseling sessions with these patients on how to take care of their eyes.
Glaucoma, the pressure in the eye being too high, which is treatable, and we really want people to be treated so they don't go blind. And something that's not specifically eye related, we're seeing a lot of diabetes and high blood pressure, and so we're working with that, we're referring and working with that as well as we find it. So we're not just looking at eyes, but if we catch a few other things, we also say, look, you need to look into this and try to take care of it.
In a Tortola courtroom that included teary-eyed relatives of the murder victim, Vincentian Rohan Williams was remanded to prison yesterday in Tortola for the murder of a local woman, Linnea Lettsome Green. The Virgin Islands News Online site said an unrepresented Williams made his first appearance before Magistrate Chesley Benjamin at the Johns Hole Magistrate Court, accused of murdering Lettsome Green on the evening of May 26, 2019. Lettsome Green was reportedly shot and left on a roadside in Tortola. She was transported to Pebbles Hospital, where she later succumbed to her injuries. Williams, 37, a Vincentian national, resided at Great Mountain, Tortola, was charged with the murder on Monday, May 27th. The court was informed that around 8:50 a.m. neighbors heard 2 gunshots and a woman scream. Minutes later, a woman was driving down the road and noticed a bloody woman on the side of the road. The injured woman allegedly related she was raped and shot by Williams. Questioned about his whereabouts during the time of the murder, Williams reportedly told the police in Tortola that he was home. The court was also told that the accused refused to give to the police a sample of his DNA. It was also noted by the prosecution that in 2018, the victim had applied for a restraining order against Williams and was granted it in January of this year. The Virgin Islands News Online site further reported that on one stage in the courtroom, the allegations were laid out. The accused burst out, "That's a lie." He was cautioned that he was not allowed to say anything. Williams was remanded to prison until July 24th, 2019. And another Vincentian man, also living in Tortola, accused of injuring a woman after holding her at knife point, has been granted $60,000 signed bail. Charged with using threatening language, criminal damage, and assault causing actual bodily harm is 31-year-old Clifton John. He was not made to plead to the charges when he appeared in court in Tortola on Tuesday. The BVInews.com states the court heard that on May 24th, the complainant was playing a game of dominoes with friends at a bar in Virgin Garden. After some time, she and another female excused themselves and headed to the bathroom together. It is alleged that John, who would perform odd jobs around the establishment, accosted the woman with a knife on her way back and demanded to know what they were discussing. It is further alleged that the accused man criminally damaged a 32-inch television belonging to the complainant. A report was made to the police and John was subsequently arrested. During a subsequent interview, John allegedly told police that he went to the bathroom on the day in question and noticed that the woman there. He allegedly told police that he asked what they were discussing, but he denied the allegations against him. In court, the Crown did not object to bail but insisted that John be placed under specific bail conditions. As such, the court imposed signed bail with one surety. John was ordered to surrender his travel documents and return to the Virgin Gorda police station on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. John is also forbidden from making any contact with the complainant. He is scheduled to return to court on July 30th. Carnival Beat is coming right up. Stay with us. In Carnival Beat this evening, we continue to shed light on the contestants who will be vying for the Miss SVG title this Saturday night at Carnival City Victoria Park. This evening, we are featuring Miss Lotto Curcia Modest, who is encouraging parents to keep a close eye on their children to protect them against sexual abuse, which is the focus of the empowerment program for this year's Miss SVG pageant. Modest, who hails from Georgetown, was born on October 5th, 1998. She is currently pursuing an associate degree in primary education at the Division of Teacher Education at the SVG Community College. She describes herself as a jovial, charismatic, and a well-grounded individual. She said she is pursuing a career in teaching because of her love for children.
As a teacher in training and teachers in general, we come into contact with children daily and we spend a lot of time with our children. I would advise parents to have a keen eye on their children and to check to make sure that everything is okay and good with them. And even if a child says that they're fine, persist in the situation, keep asking questions. Don't let the situation go flat, because at times the child becomes scared of the predator and they don't speak out. And I think that as parents, we need to have more interest and take more care of our youths, because they grew up to be the adults of our society. And if we don't raise strong-minded and secure children, we would raise a society of broken adults that would just continue on the cycle.
The Miss Lotto representative said it was her lifelong dream to enter the Miss SVG pageant, and that she has been preparing herself physically and mentally to capture this year's title on Saturday night.
As cliche as this might sound, I've always wanted to enter the Miss SVG pageant, and I thought that this year would be the best year for me to enter. So far, I've been going to the gym, practicing late night sessions. I am an overthinker. I've had to learn how to ease my mind, and I've begun to meditate in order for me to feel calm when I'm speaking and not get nervous. Throughout this journey, I've learned not to focus on the negative comments, rather focus on the positive comments. I've stayed off social media, not completely, but I've learned to block out the negative comments. I don't look at comments on social media. I have my team go through and scan through everything for me, and I tend to stay in the back scene as it relates to social media and comments and so on.
Modest said her family and friends are fully behind her, and that she considers the other contestants in the pageant as her pageant sisters because of the time they've spent together preparing for the show.
Well, I have quite a large support group. I would firstly like to thank Seneca Patterson, my chaperone, who has been there for me throughout this process. We have had to overcome many difficult obstacles, and there are times where I felt like I wanted to give up and quit, and she kept pushing me, and she took care of each and every situation. I would like my mother, my sisters, and also, even though my father passed, he was one of the main reasons why I wanted to enter the pageant, because he knew the love that I had for the pageant, and I thought that now would be the best time to enter. And even though he's gone, I know he's still proud of me, and he's one of my biggest supporters. These young ladies are amazing. They're talented, funny, smart. I wasn't expecting to meet sisters when I came into the pageant, but I'm walking out with 6 new sisters, and I hope that even after the pageant, we would continue to keep in contact with each other.